Hi, this is Vicky, also known as Dragonfly7673. You're watching DragonflySoars. I am recording this on Tuesday, August 26th, and it's not quite 6 o'clock yet. This will be a short episode because, well, the biggest thing I worked on, I can't show you. I will show you in the future, but for right now, it's a secret, so there goes that. Let's see. This past weekend was the Doctor Who premiere, and I was actually over visiting best friend, and he had some friends over, and they were gaming, and I had said I would come over as long as nobody cared that I was leaving to go watch Doctor Who, and it turned out that that half of them, 2 of 4, were a little sad that I was going to watch Doctor Who, and they were not going to. They had to watch it later. On the plus side, this meant that there was no problem with the fact that I left. And while I was there, I was working on the secret project. So, I also have worked on my shawl, my Wind in the Willow shawl, which is from the Unique Sheep. I realize that every now and then I have talked about how I have made a transition. And if you're not familiar with the Unique Sheep, you may not know what that means. When you get the yarn, you get it in an assortment of skeins that are labeled, say it's a 4 skein, it'll be labeled 1 through 4. I also have some that are 6 skeiners, they're labeled 1 through 6. And you work your project either forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or backwards, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you knit for a while, and there's all sorts of, if you're doing your own project, there's math to help you decide when to do these transitions. If you're doing a knit-along sponsored by the Unique Sheep, they will actually tell you when to do these transitions, but a transition is when you switch from one skein to the next. So it would be when you switch from skein 1 to skein 2. Now you don't just switch, you don't just stop 1 and start 2. You actually kind of build it. So you're knitting along with 1, and then you knit a couple rows with 2, you go back to 1 and do 4 rows of 1, your old skein, then you do 4 rows of the new skein, 2 rows of the old skein, and then you start working with the new skein until the next transition. And then you do the same thing. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 2, 4, 4, 2. It can be whatever you feel like. Now, in order to not have a bunch of ends, I spit splice my yarn. I always make sure that whatever I'm getting from them, I can spit splice. This is EOS, which is a wool and silk blend, which there are some people that swear it doesn't spit splice, and I will tell you, I have done it several times on different shawls, and it worked just fine. It requires a lot of spit or water, whichever you use, and friction, but it does splice just fine. Anyway, I don't have any more of those, but I am done with clue 5. The lifeline is where clue 4 ended and clue 5 started, and I just finished clue 5. Sort of. There is a caveat here. I actually have part of a row left, but I was close enough that I figured I would just say I'm done and count it as good. I took a picture, so alright, let me pause and put pictures of the shawl in so you can see it. Row is just knit all the way around, essentially, and I got most of the way around today, and it was either finish it and record late or just record and call it good enough for the recording. I got a surprise in the mail today at work, of all places. A friend of mine who lives near Boston and works for the same company as I do told me to watch for a package in our work email, or not email, regular mail. and she wouldn't tell me what it was. Well, it came today, and it is this beautiful thick and thin yarn. It is an alpaca. Wow, I'm sorry, I cannot speak today. Alpaca and merino blend. 4 ounces, 110 yards. You can tell it is chunky and thin, and it's supposed to be like that. And I laughed a little because this looks pretty much like the very first spinning I ever did when I didn't know how. But this is from a farm that is in Connecticut. And she said it is it's local-ish to her. I always struggle because I'm used to, like, in Wisconsin, we have a pretty big state. I struggle with the idea that all those beginning states are really tiny. So she says, you know, it's local. But she said she apparently tried to get some for me last year, and they were all out. And so this year she made a point of making sure she got some for me. And it is from Burgess Brook Alpacas. And it came with a cowl pattern, easy thick and thin cowl. So basically, from what I can tell you, most of the yarn do the work because it's going to be very textured because of the way the yarn is spun. So I think it will be very cool, and I thought it was very, very sweet that she thought of me and sent that. I was so excited. I don't get yarn at work. That never happens. Let me post a picture here real quick. Alright, I also got my monthly Sunnydale Yarn Club, which is the Buffy-inspired yarn club. This one is Eau Suave Fenucula. I believe it's inspired by the episode where Angel kills the teacher, who I can't think what her name is. But Giles was in love with her, and anyway, it's very pretty. So I really like this one. It's got real dark red, the blackish gray, and then the sections of pink. So, alright, here we go. I also did a little bit of spinning this week. I started spinning some Gail's art that I believe I bought at Rhinebeck. And so I didn't bring it up here, but I am going to show you a picture here. I just started that, and I was planning on spinning this weekend, but the secret project took longer than I thought, and I was working so fast on it, I actually hurt my hands, and so then once I finished it, I actually set everything aside and didn't work on anything of any kind because I wanted to give my hands a rest. I iced them, ibuprofen, rested them, and it seemed to work. They're fine now. So, and I am sorry, but that is all I have. The only other things I was going to tell you is I will not be going to Knittin' in the Mitten this year. There's just time constraints with the big projects at work and everything. Plus, right after I talked to Kagi and made arrangements for her to get somebody off the waiting list, she refunded my money, and I had actually even told her this is a time issue, it's not a money issue. Well, right after that, I got the bill for my son's show choir, and suddenly it was a little bit of a money issue. So, I had been thinking about going to Seattle with Best Friend. I'm not doing that, and I'm not going to Knittin' in the Mitten. There's just too much stuff and costs coming up. But something we are doing, we just decided today. At work, some of you know we have an indoor track that I was walking on a lot in the winter. we haven't been doing it so much now because we keep thinking we should walk outside, and then we don't actually walk outside. So yesterday we actually walked on the track. Best friend more than I did. He was actually waiting for me to finish up doing some work. So he was walking the track, and by the time I got there, he wanted to finish one of his miles. And so I just walked around to kill time. And in the process, I realized there was a sign that had a bunch of local 5Ks on it. Now, as it turns out, there's only 2 left. It's apparently been there all summer, but we didn't go up there. And there's only 2 left for the year. But one of them is in September, and it is a glow run. Now, I have been kind of fascinated with color runs. Color runs are done during the day, and there's people like throwing colored powder dye, and you just come away just full of color. That's a daytime type thing. And glow runs are done at night, and everybody's got glow sticks, and you're wearing fluorescent paint and fluorescent colors, and there's black light, and both of them are totally fun runs. So, and I've always kind of wanted to do one or the other. Well, in September, it turns out there's going to be a local glow run. And along with participating, you can donate to Ronald McDonald House. So I talked to best friend and said, hey, I really want to do this. Would you be willing to do it with me? And he said, yeah. So we're not going to run it, but we are going to walk in the glow run, which is perfectly acceptable. It said walkers were welcome. So that is September 20th. And that's it. That's all I have. After having some very long episodes and trying to catch up, this is going to be a very short one, and I'm sorry. But at least there won't be any fancy processing and pasting the pictures in and all that, so it should be quick for me to finish up as well and upload. I might even get it uploaded tonight. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been... I'll tell you I'm recording on Tuesday, but I end up not uploading until Wednesday. It's because I've discovered that the upload at work is a whole lot faster than my upload at home, especially at night. I think we get, we either get tethered in the evening, or there's so many people on in the evenings that it's really slow in the evening. When I'm downloading podcasts on my Downcast app, a podcast will take maybe 8 minutes to download in the morning, and it will take an hour in the evening. So uploading at night is kind of a bear, but uploading at work is lickety-split. So sometimes if I don't want to stress about it, I just wait and do it the next morning, assuming I remember. So I will talk to you guys all next time. TIFF is coming this week. Again, we still are not sure what is going on totally, and if we will even be able to record together. So we'll have to wait and see. But I will talk to you guys next time. Oh! I almost forgot. I had something else I was going to tell you. Katie of Knitting on the Fly, I just saw her post something saying she's going to start doing the Click for Babies drive. Click for Babies is also our September-October charity knit-along. So go ahead, even though it's not September yet, go ahead and start knitting and your purple hats. And even if you do them now and you don't post them right away, that's fine. Start doing your purple hats and for Katie. So I don't know what her deadline is. Our deadline is through October. I just saw that she posted something and I didn't get a chance to ever really look into the details. But she just started it, so go ahead and start doing your purple hats now. Now I'm really done. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Bye now.